the latest version, in addition to your definition updates.
You know, one program I used and I found it extremely helpful, and it worked exactly like user access control does in Vista, and that's Wind Control. And because they have a free version, that program works extremely well because it didn't let anything install. It lets you know if something was trying to make a change to the system. It's like Adaware, SpyBot, Spyware Blast from Wind Patrol. Those are like the 4 programs that I immediately installed on an XP system.
Yes, and those are, JavaCool has some very good ones. The Spyware Blaster you mentioned,
right.
Spyware Guard. He has one called Eulalizer that will analyze one of those big long EULAs and tell you if it's got suspicious wording in it.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Let's not run it on Google.
No, it's on the list. JavaCool software. It's free. But at a minimum, you want an updated antivirus. And I mean one of the latest versions, okay? And anti-spyware. And there's more choices for those. I mean, there's some very good ones, but do watch out for the rogues. You know, go by the list I've given you or that you find on these security forums that I've listed, and a firewall. The Windows firewall is very good.
Back to what you said earlier, I tell everybody to, if somebody sends you an email or pops up a window about an anti-spyware or something, that's the one you don't want.
That's the fake, right.
Even if it's real, you don't want it.
Right.
I mean,
in fact, we had one variant a couple months ago that would give you that pop-up, and your initial response is to hit X to close. Well, the X to close is fake.
Yep.
You're installing the software when you hit that X to close. So the only answer was to close the browser.
Now, does Alt F4 work?
Hmm?
Alt F4, will that?
It's a shortcut key to close a window or close a program.
Yes.
Oh, you know something else that works really great for that is Process Explorer.
Right.
That works better than Task Manager.
Yeah, because I mean, if I get one of those pop-ups, I will not click on that pop-up
I advise
anywhere.
people to use the Alt F4 because you never know if it is a fake or not, and that's a popular trick of duping people, fooling people. They're so used to that X to close, it's going to X to close. Well, no.
But the problem is the regular user is still going to do it. No matter how many times you tell them.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But
well, something I read recently was an article that I don't remember the name of the company, but they're one of these survey companies that they went to a college campus, and this is generation Z now or something, right? And basically they had a survey where they got the students together and they put them through trials of some of this malware popping up as pop-ups and what they would react to it. And something like 75% of these people that have grown up with computers click the wrong thing still.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I got fooled once on a Google search.
Once. That's funny.
I guess with Google you have to just trust the source.
No, this was recent.
That's why I use live.
Know the source.
Yeah, just watch those searches. And I hit one of those. It was the you had to close the browser to get out of it. It's one of those fake scan. It's a big GIF, is what it is.
Oh yeah.
GIF file that fills the browser window, and it makes you think it's scanning your computer, and you couldn't get rid of the darn thing. Close your browser. If you have that sort of accident, just close it.
If push comes to shove, you turn off the computer. Yeah. I've done that on some of them too.
Jay, I'm seeing that most of the spyware programs and everything, they're reactive. You're reacting to something. Isn't there any new technology that's intelligent enough to prevent something, to predict something, instead of just reacting to it?
No, they all have real-time protection. That's usually your paid product. But
well, things like Wind Patrol, that's a prevention, because that prevents things from running. Because you have to give it permission to run or not.
And most people are going to give it permission to run.
Someone just suggested running Linux.
Unfortunately.
Someone just suggested running Linux.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah. Or Mac.
And again, you're going to run into that learning curve where people they want Windows.
Well, see, even Macs can start becoming a bigger target because the more popular something becomes, that becomes the new target.
Yeah.
Got to run in the iSeries. Can't get any viruses.
Didn't they say that they were comparing the Mac OS with Vista, and they were saying that even the Mac OS they're able to break into that system before the Vista system, like one of these security conferences.
That's probably true, because I mean, they don't get really scanned very often for security vulnerabilities.
Yeah, the Apple site had for a few days recommendation to install antivirus on Macs.
Yeah, that's going to become a bigger problem.
But
So-
yeah, the anti-spyware, to answer your question, do have real-time protection available. Yes.
Was that like T-Timer or something like that that's in?
Oh, that
Spybot
works.
has T-Timer.
Yeah.
Ours is AdWatch in our Plus and Pro versions. Super Anti-Spyware, they have a paid version. All of them have that real-time protection. And in fact, you're seeing them incorporate antivirus technology into the, so that we're all kind of becoming one product that can do everything. And you do have suites available too, although people sometimes want their own choices.
So, prevention. Antivirus software with the latest definitions, anti-spyware with the latest updates,
Firewall.
firewall. What else can you recommend prevention-wise?
Check into some of these programs we've been talking about, using a host file to block bad websites. The Java Cool type products, the Wind Patrol.
Yeah, they have-
The venture startups.
I know they have like buttons that you press because out of those three that you automatically are guarding it against certain
And in
things.
fact, a lot of that
That's good.
functionality, again, is being built into the antivirus, anti-spyware, where you can go in and tweak to watch processes, to watch startups. Our AdWatch does that function for you. You just want to be sure you don't have too much running real time at once, because it can really tie up the system. And when I say updated antivirus, I mean not just definitions,
Engine.
but the updated program. Yeah, don't run XYZ 2003 when they're on version 2008, because it's not going to be effective.
Well, any of the big names, they won't even, they'll tell you they can't update definitions anymore. And,
That's what they have
People tend to ignore
heuristic
that.
type.
yeah.
Type antivirus, heuristic type.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a definition. It's just looking for something that's like it.
Exactly.
Have you seen any, what's the most deadly thing you've seen recently, that's the most scary type of malware that you've seen come across the forums lately? It's just, something that's really scary.
Well, it would be Trojan with rootkit, because you don't know what it's done. And most often it's downloaded 20 different spyware programs onto the PC. These things, for low-risk users who are somewhat educated about prevention and the types of tricks that are used, it's not going to be a problem for like you guys. But it's going to be a problem for your grandmother, your mother, kids, your grandkids. If at some point, if you're the geek to go-to guy, they're the people who need the education and the preventative tools. If they don't have them on their machine, they should have them on their machine. Microsoft's had some great education sites that are listed on here. If you just go to Microsoft.com and look up home security or home computer security, they have a whole list of things you can do to protect your computer.
Just out of curiosity, the same thing that the tool that's within several of those programs that, like for example, that that will protect Internet Explorer by turning off certain things in order to make it more secure right off the bat. Is there anyone that ever makes any kind of script that's able to go into Windows to have certain security settings put in place to make it more secure?
What we're coming out with now is very secure. I mean, it's if you have Vista and if you have IE7, but you run into the people who don't want it. They're still on IE5.
Well, what I mean by that is because obviously, like with
So that type of tweaking, you don't have to really do too much anymore if you're on the latest.
But I think you're saying automatically reset stuff so that they're tightened up
But
again.
see, there's a
Right.
problem because configurations can be different, operating systems